Welcome to Big Falls, Minnesota. This is where it all started for me, right here on the banks of the Big Fork River. Most people know the Big Fork River and Big Falls because of, well, the Big Falls that goes through right here. Stretch of Class 4 whitewater that is a place that we all would go swimming and boating and fishing and everything else. And everybody here grew up like I did with the culture of hunting and fishing. And in this case that you're going to see this week, spring beaver trapping. Well, folks, this is not what I expected for April 20, whatever it is, 6th or something, 5th here in northern Minnesota. I mean, I'm standing on the banks of the Big Fork River where I grew up about, 4 or 5 miles that way. You'll see some of the ice still coming out. Normally the ice is already gone 2 weeks ago, but it isn't. My brother, I stopped in to see him today on the way up here, and he said that this is the coldest April that they've ever recorded. We're here to show you about beaver trapping. Beaver trapping from the standpoint of A to Z. Beaver trapping of why we do it. Beaver trapping of why it's such a cultural thing in the North Woods. But anyhow, this Big Fork River drains a whole bunch of country from, well, way down by Grand Rapids. And it all comes into the Big Fork River. The Big Fork dumps into the Rainy River. The Rainy River dumps into Lake the Woods, which then goes all the way to Lake Winnipeg, which goes to the Nelson River and ends up in Hudson Bay. The beaver usually use these river systems like the Big Fork River you see behind me here. They use that as their method of relocating and moving around, finding mates. I did not expect to have to bring my ice auger. I made a promise to Dick and Wally and Brian, my brother Jason. You're gonna see a bunch of people in and out of the footage here. I promised them that we weren't gonna chisel any ice because I don't do through the ice beaver trapping. That's kind of like for folks who really are serious about it or wannabes. And we try to do our part for the county and state highway department, and we try to trap them along roads where you don't gotta walk more than 200-300 yards. It's gonna be a ton of fun. It's something that I did all of my life growing up. I started beaver trapping before I started hunting. The unfortunate part that you will realize is Minnesota has a law that non-residents are not allowed to trap. And so I'm here to film, give instruction, tell them what they're doing wrong, why they didn't catch one, or, well, I told you how to catch one. Plus, I'm back in my little hometown with my great friends that I grew up with, and we'll see how it goes. In this episode, you're gonna see so many different people in and out of the footage, starting with my brother Jason, my buddy Dick, who you've seen come out hunting with me before, Wally, Sean, Logan, Brian, oh man, the list goes on and on. They all enjoy the same things we grew up doing, and they take time off work every spring to go beaver trapping. And I feel really lucky that they invited me to come along on this trip.
It's perfect to ground pound them right there.
You wouldn't do that, would you?
Yeah, I would.
As you can see, there's a lot of snow on the ground, there's ice on the water. This is a really cold spring for northern Minnesota, even by Minnesota standards.
That's amazing because there's beaver by both
We
these
saw
sets.
one right there.
And it creates some complications for Dick and Wally in their beaver trapping because it warmed up for a couple days and rained torrentially, flooding all the creeks and rivers. And now it froze. So you got the complication of frozen traps and rapidly dropping water level. So they're gonna have their hands full trying to anticipate where to set and how to set to accommodate these changing conditions. What's the plan, Dick?
We're gonna wait, won't send it till we come on our way back with some fresh scent.
What if we don't catch a beaver?
Well,
That's not possible.
no comment.
Do you want to bet on that, Brian? We betting? Or
What are we
is that-
betting, a cup of coffee?
No, I thought a bold Pittsburgh Steeler fan would have a better bet than that.
Well, whatever you want, I'll be willing to bet.
Okay.
Lucky. Well, look at that. Bird is ate on him. See that?
Oh, yeah.
That's the trouble with. There ain't no enough water here for him to.
Those of you who love fine perfumes, here's where it comes from.
What are you doing here, Dick?
These are the casters they're called. It's what we use. It's a territorial thing with the beavers it tells them that another beaver's in their territory and they wish to go put their scent there too, and then they get caught in a trap.
These are old Kool-Aid jugs we've always used forever. They're durable.
And we like to turn them inside out so you get all this really good smelly stuff. Something we do that a lot of people don't. We take these oil sacks.
Squirt that in there.
Yeah, we go like this. And I don't know if that attracts them much, but it gives an oil base to your scent so that if you get any rain or anything, it holds the scent much better at your set.
This is a 330 Belial.
Commonly known as a Conibear or a body grip trap.
Body grip. He didn't wiggle.
No, he didn't go very far.
We're out of water here. Legally, this trap has to be, in Minnesota, has to be halfway submerged.
So you got to go dig a deeper channel in here. That's what you brought Brian for.
Yep.
Season.
And then what are you going to do here?
We have the conibear there, and we're trying to draw the beaver into here, so.
What's called a caster mound. That's where they leave their scent.
So
That's good.
Get a little scent on there, and that's all it takes.
And that was the local beaver, so we'll add a little strange stuff too.
So Brian put the regular caster in there from the one they just caught. And then Wally brought some other caster that would smell like a different beaver. So if they ended up catching the guy who was living in that beaver hut right there, the next beaver that comes by is gonna come over here and check this out, and he's gonna swim right through that conibear that's in between those limbs. And right here in front of my finger is a caster mound that they've scented up. And they're gonna catch another one here tonight if it doesn't freeze over. This is a serious beaver trapping rig right here, folks. Like, you saw Dick cutting those casters out, and his wonderful wife, Lorinda, says, Dick, your truck smells like beaver. I am not riding in that truck. So Dick has to have another vehicle. He's got a trapping truck, and then he's got another vehicle.
That's bad trouble, because this is the good one.
Uh-oh, now Lorinda, I'm sorry, send me the bill for sanitizing this. But Dick's wife, Lorinda, happens to be Wally's cousin, so I'm gonna blame it on Dick and Wally. I'm gonna be free of any type of responsibility here.
That's best bet.
You and I are out of this loop.
Yeah, Brian, we're safe. So Brian's gonna put a little caster here.
That's all you really need is a little.
And the trap is right there. So the caster's right there. The beaver's gonna come up here, and Brian assures me there's gonna be one. So what do you got there, Wally?
I'm gonna put a 330 at this crossover.
So right there
This
is a small dam.
Small dam.
And that beaver's doing that to keep his water level higher.
And this is where they choose to cross over. So we'll just put a blind scent here. I won't even put any scent on it.
So what you see right here is beaver putting in their food bed last fall and chewing down a whole lot of trees. So you see the height of that limb, or that tree, I mean, cut, compared to my tripod leg. That's about 16, 17 inches off the ground, and it's a pretty big caliber aspen or popple tree. Now, that tells you it's one of the old folks in the colony. Now I'm going to show you what it looks like when one of the medium folks in the colony, one of the 1 or 2 year olds, do it. This one's up to here. So beaver sits on his butt, uses his tail to kind of prop him up, and then he just starts chewing on these trees. So when you see a whole big segment where some are tall, some are short, that means there's a colony here that is many different age classes.
Might have to get my rake and find the wire.
So what do you got there, Dick?
Got a leg hold set, and the trap is down, is gone.
Here, you need a stick or something? Oh, you're just gonna pull the wire?
Yeah.
Trap is gone. Holy cow, look at the size of that one.
It's a good one.
Dang, you told me you'd have one here.
So now you've seen the two types of sets Dick and Wally use for this stuff. One is a foothold that is on a one-way slider that goes down a wire that has a heavy weight on the end in deep water. The beaver can go down the wire, can't get back to the surface, and very quickly is dispatched. The other is a body grip trap, and beaver comes to the trap, puts his nose in there, triggers the trap, all the stored energy in the springs hits him in the neck, and the beaver is dispatched immediately. Each have a different scenario and a different condition that you'll use them, but those are the two types of sets you're going to see here.
Have another one tomorrow.
Freeze! That is a big one.
Yeah, it's a blanket. Takes away the hole up there. How could I not see that?
Hold on, Wally, bring that thing back here.
It's another nice one.
Yeah. Not as big as the last one.
Large.
That's the 2-year-old size
That we mostly
they're out
catch.
traveling.
What you see here, folks, is a 2-year-old beaver. This is really common, and here's why. Beaver have a colony system where you have an adult pair, then you have a whole litter of 2-year-olds, a litter of 1-year-olds, and in this time of year, they're getting ready to have a third litter. So to make room for the upcoming litter that they'll have sometime in May, they boot out the 2-year-olds from 2 years ago. So the 2-year-olds have to go find their own mates, find their own colonies, and they use these rivers and creeks and ditches to go and explore and do just that. And that's why you end up with so many of them.
What are you doing there, Dick?
Just bedding the trap, making. Want to push the springs down a little bit just to make sure it's good and solid. We'll put a little stick over here.
A little pucky.
Yeah, just to get him. The stick is just so that he comes, puts his foot right in it. In theory, it works every time.
Works every time, 50% of the time, huh?
Yep.
This is a trap that we got nothing in, but we're putting fresh scent on it because we didn't have it with us this morning. So, we'll see if this helps out for tomorrow.
Wally, it looks like some more work for you and your crew.
It is, for my crew mostly.
And Wally is the county road supervisor. Him and his crew are in charge of maintaining the county roads in our county. And here is a perfect example of what happens when you have a lot of beaver. You end up with a beaver dam above, a beaver dam below, it floods. At high water, it washes out the road and the road base, and Wally and his crew are going to have to come and fix this road. So it's quite ironic that Wally does this as his work every day, him and his crew. But then when he takes his vacation time in April, what's he doing? He's out trapping beaver.
Little guide stakes there just to get him come right in there. It's hard to get. A little bit's good, a little bit more is better, right?
So the trap is right between these two really peeled up sticks right there.
It's a right front catch, foot catch. You see how it's slightly off center?
Yeah. So the beaver. No, I'm gonna hold you to it, Dick. He's projecting a right front foot catch.
Or a left back foot if he backs in.
Yeah, because sometimes they back in because they're coming up here to mark and do their own scenting. So when they do that, they come in backwards. And sometimes their tail hits the trap and you don't catch them.
I'm pretty sure I see a beaver in the...
You see a beaver?
No. I don't know. I might be lying.
You might be lying, huh? Well, I tell you what. If you guys had to make a living trapping beaver, you guys would be hungry today.
We would.
I didn't want to carry a beaver up this big hill.
Hopefully we only catch kits here.
Wally had said, you really hope you don't catch one here because you got to pack them out of here. One here. Dick's got one there.
You know, nice beaver here. We caught in a leg hold trap that was grounded.
Yeah. And so we're in this big dam here. You guys think there's only 2 in here?
Yeah, they moved in late in the fall. Usually that just means there's 2. But we'll pull these traps because that's all there is here.
Okay.
River definitely come up. You can see our sticks where we held the trap in place.
Wow, that's...
Gotta be a large one. I don't know. I want to save that stick there.
Probably underwater.
Oh, there you go.
Dick, now you got to haul that thing up that big bank.
I can do her.
Okay.
There's other ones right underneath your feet, Wally.
I'll do it.
Voila. In the little pile.
6. What do you got there, Dick?
We got a beaver and a conibear.
Beaver and a conibear. Whew! Holy smokes! That's a nice one. Whew! That is a big beaver.
That'll get another one.
Hand him up to me, I can carry him out.
Oh, that's a nice that's a better beaver than I thought.
Well, we're stacking them up good, boys. Well, you guys are.
We can still get 10.
We can't get 12 no more.
Dick, ooh, that is a nice one.
Yeah, that's a big beaver.
Cool. He'll be good eating.
Partridge. Hammering away.
Here's another beaver.
Young one. The pucky.
This is the bad.
Well, guys, what's the final count?
11.
Is that a good day or a bad day?
Well, not
It ended up being pretty good.
not quite 50%, but with the bad luck we had, it wasn't bad.
This kind of weather, what's the prognosis
tomorrow,
for tomorrow?
If we get 3 or 4, I'll be happy.
Really?
Well, traps like this will
Well,
work.
that we could get 5 or 6.
Yeah.
Okay.
If we get anywhere close to what we did, the next day we'll do better again.
Because it's going to warm up?
Warm up.
Okay.
Tonight, a low in the teens.
That's a good one there, isn't it?
Yeah.
Dude, this
It's
pig.
like the big male.
Yeah, that's a little more than just the weight. Oh
Lucky.
yeah. Woo! There we go. Well, we got good luck when we brought Jason Newberg with us today.
Yeah, real big buck there.
Took a day off from logging, decided he was gonna come and show us how to trap beaver. Yeah, he's that's a nice one.
That's in the water.
Yeah, great big old boy. Woo. That's a big one. Level drop.
Ooh, he is a nice one.
He's a big one. Woo.
Like we got about 8.
Oh, look at that big thing. Oh, that's perfect. Ooh, that's a big one. That's that big old beast up the hill.
Logan's starting to wonder why he comes.
At least 10.
Front leg. Another great big one. Look at that thing. This is a whopper. Well, gentlemen, first trap of the day. What's the story?
I think we got one.
You think so?
It's a lunker.
Oh, that's a dandy. Oh boy, that's a great big one.
That is a big piece.
Oh my gosh, look at that thing. Woo! That's another 2-year-old. Wait, oh, look at that, another lunker. Oh,
Great
yeah.
big one. Look at the size of the toes.
Pretty bit this guy in the tail. Two-year-old.
Smaller one. Backed up there.
Well, thanks for tagging along, folks. 53 of these little waterborne toothy rodents in 5 days of checking traps. And that might seem like a lot to some of you, but for Dick and Wally, this was kind of just, not getting real serious about it. In years when fur prices are higher and the weather's better, they will go out and in a week they'll catch 150 to 200 of them. And now, the next segment, you're going to see us show you how we utilize these beavers from start to finish, every part of it. We're going to show you how we utilize the hide and take care of the hide, the tails, the casters, and the meat. Yeah, Dick is inviting a lot of people over to his house. We're going to cook beaver 3 different ways and have a beaver feast. So there you have it, folks. Northern Minnesota. Great friends, family, and the place I grew up doing something as crazy as spring beaver trapping. Thanks for being here.
This is my mom trying beaver.
Is that beaver over there?
Yeah.